Greetings and welcome to my dear Taurus. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Tarot of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. I do welcome you to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, if you're new, please take only what you will and note that this is not for everyone. However, if you do find resonance, please use the best of your own discernment in order to apply any sort of knowledge that comes through the reading. The second house is open as well, the gateway into the eighth. We are dancing here essentially with the realm of materialization and its bridge towards spirituality, the reification of various binary codes that may translate into some form of spiritual etheric truth, wisdom, or knowledge. Today I shall be doing a singularity reading for you. The singularity is highly specific, and it shall not resonate for everyone, so please take only what you will. This is for the energy of Taurus in the mid-month of February 2020. Thank you for tuning in. There's a mode of action here that has to do with neurological complexities that are stratifying in the mind. Beware as well as be conscious of that which you think, and that which you think becomes an eventual reality, or it may create some sort of dimensional rift that has to do with a choice that you are making, one that has been ruminating or brooding over time. There's something about the complexion of Mars and Taurus that has to do with repetition as well as daily activity, daily routine that becomes something that we possess, and it's very hard to loosen the fixation towards this. So there's a fixation of thought that is very binary in nature, that may be confusing to some, but also points to a deep psychological complexity here that has to do with drive and ambition, and it being halted, or at least it being sort of in the highlight in terms of what you are trying to bring about. There's a need for patience here, but this patience is becoming a bit stagnant. And this is causing essentially the moon in Libra energy, which has to do with dualisms, also trying to find truths, finding multiple truths, and trying to make a choice between two variant things. Seems to me that seems to be a common motif here, especially with the 6 and the 7 of the major arcana, moving from the energy of Gemini, the lovers, into the energy of Cancer, okay? This movement essentially has to do with, once again, options, choices. And it could be that you are standing at the precipice of some form of choice that you have been waiting to execute for quite some time. In this waiting, there is an element of a fortress or a type of stratification of the mind that becomes a psychological barrier if you're not careful. Okay, there's also something very Aquarian about certain things or motivations that have to do with thoughts or ruminations of the mind that have been trying to come to fruition. Okay, these creating a groove in your mind, in your brain, programming of the subconscious as well as the conscious mind. And what it essentially rises out of it is a sense that you can find a way to idealize expectations, or find a way to the path of the poet, the path of perhaps even the saint. You might be coming also into a type of action that has to do with forward momentum, that is creative in nature, that has to do with the moon's energy as well. Mercury is strong in this. So there's a lot of emotional or intelligent emotional sort of complexities that are developing and are being reinforced by the mind's grooves, okay? The electrical currents that are polarized or that are sort of creating a sense of a psychology here, okay? This also is driven by a lot of major arcana. What is occurring here in the singularity is a mode of stasis in which you may be more receptive than usual, very mutable. That means there are things that impress you or things that move you, as opposed to you being, as opposed to you moving. It is you being moved, but then not necessarily having to do something about it. There's the gateway here that that has approached in the past. This has to do with a choice, but now there's the element of the three sort of excuse me, the three legs of standing, the tripod, a way to sort of prop up or maintain a sense of dignity or a sense of perspective, okay? Coming in strong here, 12, 18, as well as 5, very 3, 5, 3, 9, and 5. There's an element here of a lot of playfulness, or at least something that has arisen out of the alchemy between you and perhaps another, or that may occur in the very near future. This alchemy that has to do with the gateway from the 8th to the ninth house, meaning that polarities, very intense polarities of mind as well as of what you deem to be powerful, are being negotiated here in order to create some sort of alchemy to transmute some expectations here. Perhaps you are becoming a bit more poetic in the way you may be transforming or creating something new, as if it was a science, or as if it was a type of word making, or a combination of the two in order to create some sort of new logic, or some sort of like philosophy here that has to do with the creation of new ways of fortifying your self empowerment. Okay, this has to do with also an element of grounding that is based on structures that you self identify with, an element of also contention with how yourself identifies with others, or is very uncooperative or rebellious towards others. This stems from an issue here that is tied to the Great Mother as well. It's tied directly to the energy of Cancer. Once again, the moon coming in strong and motivating for the energy of Taurus. Some very deep motivational ties to essentially what we can be loyal to, what we can see in terms of a glass onion, how deeply we can reflect upon certain things that are emotional in nature, that move us in nature, but are not necessary in order to find a sense of empowerment, a very strong sense of authority here that has to do with essentially being moved, the inner self being moved somehow. This is something that is causing for you a sense of self-propriety, authority, as well as grace in terms of the natural acclamations of Taurus. The Nine of Pentacles here, very strong Taurus card, as well the Nine of Swords. Two nines here as well, the 9 here. There is a triplicity of the 27 and the 9 here, very strong. That has to do with essentially devotion, as well as praxis around your higher mind, very much being stimulated by the major arcana here. A sense that you can essentially, in the past especially, subconscious programming that has to do with the processing of certain fears of transformation, of especially the Aquarian age, and sort of moving beyond that. There is an element here, the Three of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, some very strong creative force that is helping you to maintain or to align realities according to the bipolarity of your karma. Okay, bipolarity of your karma is Two of Pentacles, and then the Three and the Four of Pentacles arises out of this. The bridge has to do with essentially creating a sense of propriety, a sense of authority, your thoughts becoming realities, as I've mentioned before. Also, there is a declination here from the energy of justice into the energy of Gemini, so Libra to Gemini, moving away from the other and into the self in order to find some self-mastery of mind is coming to mind here. Also, there's a strong possibility of the Seven of Rods, an element of tension or a conflict of the heart with those that you come into balance with, those that you find in externalized situations that you're exploring through the energy of Gemini and the lovers, and trying to find some sort of finery in it, some sort of mastery of the mind in order to find balance and equilibrium. That is something that you are trying to maintain if this resonates for you. As far as this reading goes, I think you're in good standing. There is a possibility of finding empowerment through knowledge bases. So if you look into research or look into anything etheric or tied to the Great Mother and the secret of Isis or Ishtar, there is a possibility to find great wealth and inspiration through this and empowerment. You will move from the first to possibly to the 12th house very quickly in terms of this revolution of power, and it will help you to manifest things that are deeply wanted or needed according to your heart's desire. Hopefully, this helps. I do wish you well, and please take care. Thank you. Bye bye.